Good morning. Getting on with this. It's been a bit of a weekend. It's been bonkers as usual. Right, so so I've done the little pouch now. I did cheat and sewed it on the machine, but I'm going to hand embellish it. It's not stuck down or anything yet. I'm trying to think how I'm going to actually stitch it down. I might just stitch the corners. Yeah, anyway, we'll come to that. So I've done some little decorations there. So I've had the devil of a time finding a nice mustardy coloured plain fabric to go with that. Couldn't find felt quick, you know. I could have ordered it online, but I didn't want to wait, basically, because I'm a bit impatient at times. So I found this kids t-shirt in the charity shop, and I thought it's more or less ideal. So I've done the little flowers because I do love this design that I did on this original one. So I'm going to kind of copy that. That's going to go there. I've decided, I think what I've decided is I'll do a little, either a ribbon or something, and have a button here for it to kind of loop around, but you can then still take it off to use the pinwheel. And the pockets here, again, I did cheat and did them on the machine, and it went slightly wonky. I don't know why. It just did. Sorry, the sun's in and out, in and out. Yeah, so I've got raw edges at the bottom here, so I'm just going to buttonhole stitch this onto here. Am I? Hang on, because what I could do is actually turn a bit of a hem there, because these pockets actually ended up quite big. Let me just move all these bits and bobs. I've got a moaning cat behind me. It's like having moaning Myrtle, you know. Apparently she's starving, but she isn't. Anyway, right. So where is it? There it is. Yeah, so they're quite long. I kind of envisage those sort of sticking out there. So instead of cutting it, what I think I'll do is just fold like that, stitch that onto here. I don't want to go too close to the edges, so let's try and get this on the straight line of the fabric. And that'll be, that'll be much better. I'm going to leave that one open, so let's just pin that back. Where's my pins? Yeah, it's I'll say it's been a bit crazy mental. Saturday was absolutely, I don't even know what happened to Saturday. Picked my had my granddaughter, picked my daughter up from getting her car to the garage, and then we had 2 hours to kill, so we took Hades for a really nice long walk. He was so funny in my car because he's a huge dog, and he had to sit on the back seat, so all I could see was this great big fluffy head in my rearview mirror. So it was quite funny. Yeah, so we mooched around. I mean, that was, I think it was nearly 12 o'clock by the time we'd done that. And then by the time she got her car back, so Scarlett and I then came back to here. She wanted to do some sewing, so I set her up on the sewing machine. Then she didn't want to do sewing. Yeah, the autistic mind, bless her. Yeah, my daughter rocked up about 3:30, 4 o'clock after finishing work. So we sat and had a chat. I then took her home. Thought, right, chill out, lovely, have a nice rest. Then my youngest rang and said, or messaged, and she'd been invited out, and she said, would you mind coming and sitting with Hades? I was like, no problem at all. So out I turned again. I was a bit lazy and I got fish and chips for tea. I really fancied fish and chips, so I went and nipped them at her house. She came home about, it wasn't late, it was only about 8:30. So I didn't sit, excuse me, I didn't take any stitching with me. I just needed to chill out. I find I love my granddaughter, don't get me wrong, but it's exhausting. There really is a certain amount of age attached to that, you know. So hats off to you grandmas that look after your grandkids all the time, because it absolutely exhausts me. but she doesn't have any focus, Scarlett. You know, you can't sort of say to her, oh, do your colouring book, because she'll do it for about half an hour and then that's it, you know. So, but then I think that's kids all over. Right, I think we're kind of, I can't even see because my head needs to, no, it's not straight at all. So yeah, so that was Saturday, and then Sunday, again, I went out with Caroline. She needs a lot of emotional support at the moment. That's why I'm doing so much with her. Yeah, so we went for a really nice walk up in the forest, up on Holden Hill, and got completely lost, completely muddy. Oh my God. There was one point I stepped, I mean, luckily I've got full-size wellies. She's only got the little sort of ankle ones. I stepped in this mud and I literally, it was so close to going over the top of my boot. It was unbelievable. It was so thick. And Hades walked in it and he got stuck and we had to pull him out. Oh my God, it was a mess. But it is part of the forest where they do a lot of logging. I've got some fascinating photos actually. If I remember, I'll insert them in here. But yeah, so I'm just looking for the cat. She's gone. She's quite good actually when I start talking. Right, this is definitely a wonky pocket, okay? We're just going to have to live with it. I can't get it straight. Yeah, so, oh, honestly, all in all, it was just like a crazy bonkers weekend. And then on the way back from the forest yesterday, it's up where the car boot's held at Exeter Racecourse. So we saw a sign saying that the car boot was on yesterday, because today's Monday. Yeah, so we went to that as well. So I promptly came home. I had to have a senior 20 minutes on the sofa. I was watching something on YouTube. Woke up and it had finished. So, yeah, I'll say Saturday, it just... Oh, we went to the range on... Yeah, we went to the car boot and then we stopped at the range in Exeter as well. And because I was after this blinking mustard felt, could I find it? No. So luckily we stopped in... it's quite a big charity shop warehousey thing on the industrial estate in Exeter. So we popped in there and they had a box of... kids clothes. They were 50p, so that t-shirt cost me 50p, so I'm happy with that. I just needed it for the scissor case. Anyway, that was that. So yeah, so last night I just got back, had my senior moment and then put my dinner on, and I thought, well, while dinner's going, I'm gonna have a nice hot shower. So did that and just fell into bed about 10:30 and didn't hear a blessed thing until 7 o'clock this morning. So that was nice. Good, nice, long sleep. But it has been a very exhausting weekend. So, and I've hardly had any crafty time. So, yeah. A little bit crazy times. But I know we've still got time to finish this. I know some people have already finished theirs. But I thought, well, I'm not going to rush it. Not in any rush. I don't know what the next one will be, if it's one that I'll join in with, I'm not sure. I wasn't very taken with the other two. I didn't really need to embellish anything with stitch. So, and I didn't really want to make another pouch because, yeah, just don't need one. I'm a bit of a mackerel, pack it in. She's in here. A bit of a practical stitcher, me. It's like... I mean, I don't really need this, but I don't know. I can't resist making a needle book. Bit of a sucker for a needle book. I have only got two, so, you know, compared to some people. But yeah. So, it's just been a little bit of a crazy life at the moment. So... back to work next week. Whoop, whoop. It's a long week as well, so oof. I don't know why I moan because it's only 3 days, but it's just I don't want to be working anymore. Yeah, I'm done. I've been working since I was 15, so that's quite scary, isn't it, when you think about how long. I mean, obviously I took a break when the kids were little, but as soon as they were in school, I got a little job in the local shop, just working the odd day. But, you know, you need the money, don't you, you know? So, oh, right, okay, this is a really thick bit, so yeah, there we are. Okay, you're not going to go through there. She's got her back to me right now. She hasn't got any threads that she can attack and try and take downstairs. She's got a real thing about the sewing machine bobbins. I've told you this before, but she really, really does. She can nick one of those. She'll carry them off in her mouth and then throw them down the stairs. She does have kitten moments, which I find funny because she was never really a playful kitten. She used to tell her brother and sister off all the time. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. I recommended some watercolour paints, so I got those, although I couldn't get the big set that I wanted, so I'm just making do with what I got in the end. So that'll be fun to play with. No other new. I'll say the car boot. I was speaking to my daughter about it this morning. I said to her, it was a bit rubbish, wasn't it? She went, yeah, it was really. She said it was just like, I don't know, I guess you needed to have a specific thing, or, you know, you needed to want what they had, if that makes sense. So, and most of it I didn't. So I didn't come home. I came home with some little, what they call baby board books, you know, the thick board ones, because I like to turn those into little arty crafty book type things. Granddaughter picked up all sorts of rubbish. That was Eleanor. She is the collector of rubbish. I nearly said something else then, but yeah, she can collect all sorts of stuff. That one. Oh, come on, go through. She was looking through this bloke's. There was quite a lot of crafty stuff there, but one box that I looked through, she said, "Oh, everything's £1 in there," and I was like, okay. But the trouble was, a pot of glitter had opened in it, and everything was absolutely smothered in glitter. And I thought, do you know what? I can't stand the feel of glitter. It's a real sensory thing for me. It's just like, ugh. Yeah, and I was sort of looking through, and they were funny. They were kind of hovering right over the top of me, and I was like, can you just go away? I'm not going to nick your stuff. I suppose some people do there, don't they? But yeah, it was one of those like, ugh. So I didn't get anything from them. And then Eleanor found another box, and she picked out a few bits. The bloke was like desperate to get rid of it. He said, £5 for the whole box. And I was like, no, because it isn't what I use. It was stickers and stuff like that. And she didn't have any pocket money left. So anyway, she started picking out some paper pads, just 6x6 paper pads. And he said, well, you know, why don't you take the whole box, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't want the whole box. I said, I don't use stickers. She'll just waste them and stick them all over her bed. I said, so no, it'd just be a waste of money. I said, if she only wants those pads, then, you know. So in the end, he just said to her, I'll just take them. He just gave them to her, which was really nice of him, actually. So, yeah. But, yeah, you go there sometimes and you get an absolute, you know, load of stuff. I mean, I've been there and really scored sometimes. So, oh, go through. But yeah, that was that really. My youngest daughter picked up 2 really nice recliner chairs for the garden. She really wants to do her garden this year, so. Okay, this is really, really hard work. Yeah, so she got those for a bit of a bargain price. They were £15 for the 2, which she said, I've been looking, she said, and even on Facebook Marketplace, people have wanted £30 for these. It's the type that you sit in and you lay back and they kind of rock you back. So, yeah, really nice. So So she was happy with those. Did she get anything else? No, she didn't get anything else, because she's like me. It's like, don't really need it. So, yeah. Was there any fabric? No, no sort of. Well, there was one lady there that had some, and I said to her, you know, she had a box full of some fabric pieces. So she was sort of busy, and I said, oh, how much was the fabric? She said, oh, well, it depends on what size you pick out. And that annoys me, and it's like, you know, just say it's £1 a piece, and then I'll buy accordingly. But it's like, you know, I'd have held up like a piece that was ½ metre or something, and she'd have gone, oh, well, that one's £5, and you know, you've spent ages going through it, and you're like, no, I can buy that cheaper in the blooming shop, brand new, you know, uncreased, not covered in mud. So, yeah. It's like, just give it a ballpark figure. Just say it's £1. You want to get rid of it because that's why you put it to the car boot. Just say it's £1 a piece. I'd have filled my arms with fabric. And, yeah. You know, I used to think I had a lot of fabric. But then I watched, what's her name? Karen at Just Get It Done Quilts. And she's just done an inventory of all of her fabrics. And I just thought, crikey, I thought I had a load, but I just don't, you know, compared to that, I don't have any, basically. So, yeah, I was absolutely, I think she was astonished as well by the sounds of her voice, if you like, you know. She's, what was it, over 1,000 yards, wasn't it? That's a lot of fabric. That's a lot of fabric. So maybe I'll lift my fabric ban. I am getting through quite a bit, actually. It's gradually dwindling, which is good. I think I could get it down to one box, actually. I've got the big cardboard boxes that you can buy in IKEA, because it's the only thing that's strong enough. Yeah, so and then I've got like a little, I don't know, it's like one of those fridge boxes that you can get in Home Bargains, and that's got my fat quarters in. So yeah, I am quite restrained when I think about it. And as I say, when it comes to choosing fabric for this, I have got a big IKEA Kallax square box thing full of scraps, mind. So yeah. Oh, I'm using my Wonderfill in case you're wondering about Wonderfill. I doubt it. Yeah, that one there. What else have I been up to? Nothing else really. I'd say just not been home much really. Yeah. C'est la vie. Where were we? There. Actually, I'll start here and work down there, because that's really hurting my hands. It's really thick down there. Right, get your hands in order. I sat and watched, did you watch Marion's World last night? She went to the NEC, Birmingham NEC. It's the big craft show up there. And yeah, she bought some lovely stuff, fabrics and things. But she does a lot of dressmaking. I stopped doing that years ago. When I was a perfect size 10, it was all right. Not anymore. Yes. Well, the West Point show's in a couple of weeks, so I've no doubt I'll come back with some stuff from there. Yeah, there's not a lot I need, I'll be honest with you, and I think that's the trouble. I'm very much I mean, I am a bit of a spur at the moment. I was going to say I'm not, but I am actually. I'll see something and I'll go, oh, yes. But then I do use it. Oh, I have arranged to meet up with the lady that I learnt lino printing from many years ago, Louise Nichols. She is now on YouTube. She has literally just done her first video, So I subscribed and I said I'd give her a shout out. She's going to be doing a studio makeover. She lives in Cornwall. She's going to be making over her studio. I don't know what else she's planning on. I think it's more I don't know about whether it's going to be a lino carving video or more the fabric side of it. I don't know. She did kind of give some hints, but yeah, I guess she'll develop it as she goes along. So yeah, and I said to her, well, she apparently in her about page on her YouTube video, she's put her links to her shop, but I said to her, well, I don't know, I don't know how you guys look if somebody is selling their designs and that. Do you look in the about box for their socials, or do you expect it to be linked below the video? Because I said to her, when I remember, and I did put a big when I remember with a exasperated face on it, because I don't always. I put it in my description box basically. So she's like, oh right, okay. I said, you run it the way you want to run it, mate. I said, it's nothing, that's just what I do. You do you. I mean, I'm a big believer of, you run your stuff like you want to run it. But because that's where I looked straight away as soon as she said she was she'd got some stuff in her shop. I looked in the description box and I couldn't find it. And then when I messaged her on Facebook, I then thought, oh, I bet she's put it in the about page, and darn me, there it was. So but yeah, I'll wait until I see her at the show, and then I'll see what kits she's got there. But yeah, so I said to her, I'm pleased for you. I said it'll be a good outlet for her kind of thing. Whether she's planning on doing workshops in her workshop in Cornwall, I don't know. I'll be there. Right, okay. So that's all on now. I think I'll leave that one big, because that'll be quite handy for bigger things. So I might have to put a stitch there though, just to stop that gaping, but we can do that later. Anyway, right, so pocket on. Jolly good. It looks wonky, but that's because it slightly is. Oh, do you know what? I don't care anymore. You just have to put up with the wonk, okay? I am a wonky person, and I do wonky stitching, especially hand stitching. I want you two to be lined up, okay? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else much to tell you. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Annie, if you're watching, your owls arrived this morning. So it's funny actually. I was going to message you the other day because I forgot to wish you happy birthday. I wasn't following on Discord. So I hope you had a lovely birthday, and thank you very much for the owls. It was a die cut. Let me show you. I got this lovely card. It's literally come this morning, so look at that. They're cute. It's going to be an art piece up on my wall, that is. Shall I finally remember to send it? Yeah, it's like, a while ago. And she's got one of my bobbin. She bought one of the bobbin dies that I've got. Oh, hello. What have I done with it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it cuts little owls. Sun's disappeared again. Thank you, Annie. I shall get some use out of this little fella. Just love that shape. And she had a spare one, so she very kindly gifted it to me, which is amazing. Thank you, my darling. Right. Okay, let's get this one stitched. I don't know how long have I been going on. Oh, it's only 24 minutes. So you've probably just got your sewing gear out. That's a nice die, Annie. You'll have to let me know. Yeah, it's very nice. I like that one. Right, what should we stitch that with? I think I want something a little bit brighter than that. Because what did I use on these? The colours were brighter, weren't they? I'm going to have to turn my light on. I'll have to go and rescue me washing in a minute because it's all out on the line. Might do those slightly darker colours. Will I? That's got the green in it, that one. I think I might go that one actually. So it's got the mustard and the green. Right, okay, decision made. Quick decisions today. I've got to keep an eye on the time. I don't want to be late for Scarlett's dance thing. It's not till 4 o'clock, but honestly, I get up here and it's like somebody's just grabbed hold of the hour time on the clocks and just made it disappear. Yeah, I did forget on my pouch to not, right, get off, to not stitch it together yet, because I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to stitch through. Yeah, didn't think that far ahead, did you, Susan? No, I really didn't. Is there anything else I need to tell you? I don't think there is. I'll say it's back to work tomorrow. Got the dreaded commute. Yeah, that's about it really. Right, okay, let's just concentrate on this and get this straight-ish. I don't think it's quite in the middle, but that'll do. Oh, Scarlett was funny on Saturday. She said, "Can I make a video for your YouTube channel?" I said, "Well, what are you going to make the video on?" She went, "Well, I'm going to show them how to sew." So are you? Okay. Anyway, she did it on her phone, which was fine. And she watched it and she's like, "Yeah, I think I'll just send it to my friend's nanny." I said, okay, bless her. Yeah, she is funny. It is fascinating watching their, because she loves to just grab pieces of fabric and stitch them together, kind of patchworky. She finds that really does, she did that for about an hour, which is amazing for her. And it's interesting to see what she's really doesn't care what patterns she puts together. She just does it, and somehow it kind of works, which is, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. I would like to start up a little local stitching club, for kids and that, because I don't think they do it at school anymore here. Which, if you're even slightly crafty, it's got to be super frustrating. So I backed this piece of t-shirt onto a piece of felt. I used Misty Fuse because, having made the mistake of using Heat and Bond before, where I could hardly even push a needle through it, I learnt a lesson. Get me? Yeah, so I just used Misty Fuse to fuse the t-shirt fabric onto the felt. So got a bit of a sandwich going on. I made sure it was right over the edges because I'm going to go around with buttonhole stitch, or blanket stitch, I should say. Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that the edges didn't fray like Billy-O, which potentially, being t-shirt, well, I don't know, t-shirts aren't too bad, are they? But anyway, that's what I did. think if I've been watching anybody in particular this weekend. Okay, that doesn't quite work out, so we'll just put one there and that'll be fine. Yep. Right, okay, does it need to? I always feel you either do 1, 3, 5. I don't know. No, I think I'll put the 2. I'll do the 2. It's going to look a bit old, but it's fine. Actually, I think I will finish that because when you put in scissors, isn't out there? Why didn't I think of that? I might have to line it. I wonder if you are going to catch your scissors on the threads. Some of those are a little bit long, aren't they? I guess what I should have done was done the embroidery on top and then just did that bit around it. It wouldn't be so... Well, kind of depends on what scissors I'm going to put in. So I'm going to put those in. That should be alright. No, that's fine. Let's not worry about it. We're not going to worry. Okay. Been lots of lovely mushrooms made out of my mushroom kit that I put on Ko-fi. I think there's only one left now, which is great. I loved dyeing that velvet. So lush when it was done. But I need more dyes now. I used an awful lot of dye on that. Probably too much actually. But I wanted the really, really deep colours. So yeah, I don't think there's much else to talk about, I'll be honest with you. Hades managed to split his paw up in the forest yesterday, so she dipped his foot in salt water last night, and he gave her such a apparently he went to lick it and he gave her such a foul looking look, like, what the heck have you actually just put on my foot? But it stopped him licking it, because I said to her, that's the worst thing. I said, you know, they feel the need to do it. But one of the dogs that my daughter's walks, Ollie, I have done videos of him, he split his paw and kept lick, and in the end he actually had to have it operated on because he'd caused, I don't know, guess kind of like the flesh had started to rot. I don't know what had happened, but anyway, yeah, he actually had to have it operated on, and so she didn't have him for 2 weeks because he wasn't allowed to go out for walks or anything, which I can only imagine for him was like torture, because he is an assistance dog and he is so full of beans and he just has to have that walk every morning, and yeah, so to not have that, but he was a nightmare. God. And the bloke who has him is actually disabled, so yeah, interesting. There's some dogs like that, isn't there? Some dogs are sort of lounge lizards, and you know, aren't really that bothered. But I've always had the type that really, well, I'll say that we had a puppy, Ralph, when we had him. He was a pup. We had him from a puppy, and he was, well, we were told he was a collie, but he wasn't. He had he was black and white, but he had Alsatian ears and short legs. Honestly, he was the weirdest looking dog ever. So we think his mum was a bit of a floozy with an Alsatian locally from the farm that she was on. Anyway, and he was the type of dog that he really wasn't that bothered, you know. He'd be like, yeah, I might go out for a walk. Oh, I might not, you know. And then we got Sam. He was a rescue Labrador cross. Yeah, always up for a walk. Always, always, always. And then that kind of brought Ralph out of his slovenliness, because Sam used to make it fun for him, I guess. He was a good companion to him, because Ralph was actually suffering with depression, which the vet said he's depressed. But why? The only thing I can think is that he was born on a farm, and he was quite a big litter. So I don't know. That's kind of what the vet thought, that he was suffering with depression. Do dogs get depressed? Were we conned? I don't know. I mean, I know they miss. You know, they obviously have feelings and that. So anyway, so yeah, we got Sam, and that turned Ralph's life around. So, and he was a lovely boy, Sam. He lived until he was 16, 17. So, yeah. It was one of those where you had to make the decision when they went over the Rainbow Bridge. So, not a happy one, but never mind. You have to do what's best for them in the end, don't you? God, look how heavy I've been leaning on my worktop. Lift your arms up, you lazy what's it. I'm going to go around that with that. Yeah, I think that'll bring all the colours in. Right, okay. I'll just do with this with you. I might speed some of this up now, because this is just going to be blanket stitch. You might be wondering why I'm putting on an extra long bit, because what I thought I would do is, hang on, let me just make sure this isn't going to go anywhere. Cause one moment. What I'll do, I'll finish this here, and then I'll stitch this onto here by making these into like boxes. So do a run-in stitch down the side through. I didn't do this part as the way to stitch it because obviously I just needed to cover this raw edge up the top here first of all, but secondly I think it would have been a right pain to sort of have to throw the whole this fabric around all the time and that, so it'd be easier if I just do a very simple run-in stitch, so that's what I shall do. Okay, I think I'll start here. Right, so where do we want to position this? Sorry, my head might get in the way. Let's go about there, I think. I'll be back in a sec. Right. I had the Amazon man coming. I thought it was for me and it wasn't. Right, okie dokie. So what I'll do, it's kind of a back stitch along here, catching the back as well as the. Let's have a look, see what that looks like. Right, okay. So I just need to stitch that on there, and then I'm going to do a button close. Did I tell you that? I don't know if I told you that. I'm going to do a button closure there, so there'll be a loop come down there, and then that'll open like that. Actually, what I could do is go inside here and stitch that down. I don't want to stitch here because I don't want to impede these being able to lift up, because the whole idea of those pouches is that they kind of do that, and you can flop that back and you've got like a box. So actually that's what I could do, just thought of that. Could do a line and running stitch inside. Right, okay, not on this video. I think we're done for today. Yeah, cool. Okay, it's getting there. A couple of more things to do. That's stitched onto there. That's now very, very secure, so that's nice. Yep, that's fine. Pockets are on. I was going to put a tape measure in there, but I've had a look for my tape measure. I can't find it. I don't know where it's gone. I usually use a ruler, actually. I think if I had a short ruler, I'd put that in as opposed to a tape measure. But anyway, right, we'll leave it there. Yeah, it's getting there. Very, very slowly but surely. And then the final bit will be doing the binding, which obviously will be the other way around. Yeah, they'll have the right sides coming out, so that'll be good. Yeah, it will be. Sorry, I had to think about that. Yeah, and then I've got this piece here that I'm gonna, I don't know, I think I might whiz it on the machine actually and just make a wraparound tie out of it. And then it'll be done. But then, you know, still got another couple of weeks yet, so not going to rush. No rush at all. Okay, well, I shall see you all soon. Yeah, as I say, it's a long work week next week, so I'll get to it when I can. I'll see you then. Bye.